So a lot of people are looking to move to South Florida, but not so fast, guys. Today, we're gonna be talking about 5 reasons you might not wanna make that move, starting out with the weather. So we have Hurricane Ian bearing down on Southwest Florida. Here in Southeast Florida, we kind of dodged a bullet, but you can kind of see what we're dealing with right now. Well, it's a little bit calm. Behind me, you've got some utility workers restoring some of the services here. I am in Jacaranda of Plantation, but I'm gonna head back to the office right now, and let's talk about 5 reasons you might not wanna make that move here to South Florida, because things have definitely changed. All right, so I'm back here in the home office and kind of cleaned up a little bit and dried off. Again, Hurricane Ian is bearing down on Southwest Florida, so thoughts and prayers really out to that portion of Florida. We really dodged a bullet here, but hurricanes, definitely one reason you might not want to move down to anywhere in the state of Florida if you cannot deal with hurricanes, or if that's something that you just don't want to have in your life in any way. It is part of life here in the state of Florida. Now, really, just to get this off my chest, and I gotta do this, there's a lot of talk and comments about the climate and the storms are getting worse and things like that. So people are suffering here right now. They're losing their lives, their homes, their businesses. So I really don't want to hear that. The state of Florida, this geographic area, has always got hurricanes. Even before there was a car, an automobile, a person, or a home, a structure, this peninsula in this geographic location of the world has always gotten hurricanes. You can eliminate every car, every cow that farts, or whatever you want to call it, and there will be hurricanes. So if this is something that you're against dealing with, don't move to the state. So what do you do if you're here? So you just have to prepare and always understand that this is an area that will get hurricanes. Other parts of the world and the country have weather events as well. I lived in California. Earthquakes. I had an earthquake. I experienced one. It was not a bad one, but they happen. Hawaii has volcanoes. The Midwest has tornadoes. It is just what it is, and this is something you have to deal with when living here in Florida. Now, preparation is key, and a lot of people are moving here to Florida that have no experience with hurricanes, and humans in general, until something happens to you, you kind of don't really pay too much attention to it. So my story, I moved down here to the state of Florida in 2004. So my first year living here, 2005, we had, I think it was 3 major hurricanes, Katrina, I think it was Wilma, and my first house had no hurricane protection, it had plywood hurricane protection. So basically, in the yard, there was a stack of plywood that was cut out to fit the windows, so I had to Tapcon, which is basically their concrete screws. I had to screw the plywood on all the windows and then take them back down and put them back up. It was a real pain in the butt, and that's why a lot of times, if you're not from this area, you see on the news, you see people waiting in Home Depot for plywood, and things like that. So I kind of graduated from that point, and with experience to going from that to aluminum shutters and accordions, and now I have impact windows. But you definitely have to think about this and get prepared. Another thing is a generator. So the first year that I was here, once I knew the storm was coming, I had to rush out. I was lucky enough to get a generator right before they started jacking up the prices. At some point, you could not even buy a generator, and I remember specifically that our power went out. I was kind of lucky. Our power was only out for like 3 days, but my brother, who lives, in the same city, this is in Plantation, maybe a mile, not even, maybe a half mile from my house, his power was out for 3 weeks. I know this for sure because he had to stay in my house, but it was very tough even to get gas. So we had to drive all the way up northwest to an area of Florida that was not hit that bad, because when the power was out, they could not even run the gas pumps. So we had to go all the way up that way just to fill up our gas cans, just to power our generator. So you have to be prepared, do things ahead of time, get your supplies. You're going to have to get yourself a generator. But hurricanes, if you do not like hurricanes or don't want to deal with it, you might want to rethink your plans of moving here to the state of Florida. Now, with that being said, there are a lot of great things about moving to Florida in general. The weather without hurricanes is beautiful, except for when it's really hot, but just year-round, great weather, great activities, beach. There's a ton of reasons why a bunch of people are looking to move to Florida, but it comes with a price. And one thing that we're dealing with right now are rising home prices, and it's another reason you might not want to move here, because things are getting very expensive. So if you are anywhere in the process or thinking of moving and you're looking online for information, you're definitely seeing article after article of rising home prices and how expensive things are. So I'm not going to show you any of that. What I'm going to do is just jump on my MLS and look around to certain areas in this location of Southeast Florida, and just to show you what homes are selling for, so you can make up your own mind on how expensive things are. All right, so here we go. We are on my multiple listing service. So I am going to just do some searching. So I'm going to just do Broward County, which is the greater Fort Lauderdale area. You can see status. I'm going to just do active and coming soon, and we're going to go single family homes. So let's just check out some of the most popular cities or towns here in the area. We're going to go and do Weston. Right here, Weston, Florida. So there are 152 single-family homes for sale right now in Weston, and you can see they are going from $495 on the low side, and these are going to be down around 3 bedrooms, and anywhere between 1,200 to about 1,600 square feet, and they're going to go all the way up to about 8 million. So we can see out of the 152 results, you have maybe 10 that are under 600,000, and then they're going to go from 600 and up. So not very, very cheap. Let's go look at one of these properties. Let's just try this one here just to see what it looks like. So they are having an open house this weekend. So this is a 3-2. Again, very small house, 1,420 square feet under air. And we'll just look at the house real fast. So it looks like it's nice house, pretty good shape. Weston is a great area, great school district, very safe as far as safety ratings go. But again, kind of a small house, you know, and we're already at $698 for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and this is at 1,400 square feet. Let's go back and let's try another very popular city. Let's do Coral Springs. So here we go, Coral Springs. So single-family homes in Coral Springs, we have 190 active homes right now. And let's look and see what the range is. So on the low end, we are going 385 up to, 2 million on the high end. So 385, you know, we're talking 3-bedroom, 2-bath, but you can see here again, out of 190 results, I mean, for the first 27, we're already up to 575, and we're into the $600,000 range pretty quick, and, you know, like 40 homes in. You know, let's just look at one of these homes. Let's take this one here in the Dells, 489.9, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,900 square feet. Price reduction, $25,000 under recent appraisal. So something tells me might be something going on with this house, but let's just look at some of the photos here. Okay, so yeah, not terribly updated. Looks like a decent house. But again, so if we look, not very many homes for sale under, 5 close to 6. So not very, very cheap. Let's try one more neighborhood or city. Let's do the town of Davie. Very popular. Great schools in Davie as well. So Davie has 138 single-family homes for sale right now, and they range in price from, on the low end, $425, and on the high end they go up to $5 million. And this is going to be for some of those properties with the multi-acre lots. You know, I had mentioned this, and we have some videos on these properties in Davie, several different subdivisions over there, Long Lake Ranches, Pacific Acres, but these are equestrian areas. Imagination Farms is another one. The Fruitlands, we've done videos on these, but let's just check this out. So 138 total properties. Again, we are already up to, you know, if you take away the 10 cheapest, we are already in the $600,000 range, and this is a very great area, Forest Ridge. But again, we are a 3-bedroom, 1,300 square feet, guys, so not much home. Great area, but kind of a small property. Let's see if we can get some interior photos. Looks like a pretty decent area. Looks like a pretty decent property, but not cheap. Let's do one more. Let's do my town, my city, Plantation. So let's look here. Plantation. There are 169 active properties. So if we look at the range in Plantation, we are going on the low end from 290. We'll say 319. In Lauderdale West, this is 55 and over community, and up to 3.95 million. So if you take out the 55 and over community, and then what, there's 169. So if you're, I mean, take out the 25, you're already in the 550 range again. So Jacaranda, let's look at this property on 93rd Terrace. This is a 3.2, 1845 square feet. So let's look at some of the photos here. Nice property. Jacaranda is a great area. Actually, that's the area I was started this video at when I was outdoors there with the hurricane. Another property is having an open house here, and this is listed brand new. Well, actually, no, in August 24th. So about a month ago, they did a price decrease of 10 grand. But again, guys, not very cheap. Prices are, you know, very, very high. The highest they've ever been here in South Florida. So another thing you might want to consider if you want to make a move here to South Florida. Prices are not cheap at all. Now, the third reason you might not want to move here to South Florida, and this goes along with what we're talking about, is the home insurance just nightmare. And especially now when Hurricane Ian is just devastating parts of Florida, this is only going to intensify what we're going through with the home insurance crisis going on here in the whole state. So I want to pull up an article just to show you in general what is happening with the home insurance industry here throughout Florida, and what we can kind of expect moving forward. Okay, so this article from Bankrate is a really, really good article and kind of explains in detail what is happening here with the homeowners insurance market and industry here in South Florida, and really the whole state. I will link this in the description as well because I can't go through the whole thing. But basically, you could read right here where it says Florida's property insurance crisis continues to worsen. Despite recent legislative changes focused on stabilizing the rapidly collapsing home insurance market, many property insurance companies continue to liquidate or no longer write new business in Florida, and many of the remaining carriers are requesting rate increases. Now, if we move down a little bit further in the article, it explains the crisis in the Florida insurance market. Florida has always been a complex home insurance market, but recent issues are pushing the state's market to the point of collapse. Since 2017, 6 property and casualty companies that offered homeowners insurance in Florida liquidated. 4 more are in the process in 2022. Other insurance companies are voluntarily leaving the state. Still more are choosing to non-renew swaths of home insurance policies, drastically tightening their policy eligibility requirements or request substantial rate increases. And you can see right here in quotations, the main reason for the issue here, Florida's property insurance market is in crisis as insurers grapple with out-of-control litigation costs and billions in losses from recent natural disasters. And right now we are in the process of Hurricane Ian is actually affecting the state right now. It's currently over southwest Florida, so this is not good for the state. It's not good for the homeowners insurance industry because there's going to be numerous claims from damage from this hurricane. Now, if you move a little bit down further in the page, it says, why are homeowners insurance companies leaving Florida? So it says Florida insurers are canceling policies and leaving the state or liquidating at a rapid pace. Why? What is behind these companies' aversion to insuring Florida homes? And it says Florida has always presented a risky market to home insurance companies due to the high threat of widespread weather-related damage. But the current crisis is caused by a number of factors reaching a boiling point at the same time. And the main reason, guys, and I spoke about this many times in my other videos, is insurance fraud in Florida. So the biggest issue right now in Florida is home insurance fraud, and this is driven by fraudulent roofing claims. And it really is out of hand. If you look right here, a proclamation from the office of Governor Ron DeSantis notes that although Florida only accounts for 9% of the country's home insurance claims, it is home to 79% of the country's home insurance lawsuits. And many of these lawsuits are fraudulent. So basically how this whole scam really works is that roofers, they canvass neighborhoods and offer free inspections to homeowners. They find damage, obviously, and tell the homeowners that they'll get a free roof and get their deductible waived. They sign over an assignment of benefits to the contractor, giving them the right to file a claim on behalf of the homeowner, and that's where the issue starts. Now, a claims adjuster is going to be sent out from the insurance company to inspect the damage. They either find no damage or a lot less damage than the contractor found, and the contractor, or the payout that the contractor said, it's much less than what the contractor demands. That's where the debate and the litigation starts, and it goes back and forth. The insurance company spends a whole bunch of money on lawyers and litigation, and the homeowner is the one that gets screwed because these companies cannot run a profitable business, and they wind up leaving. And if they don't leave, they wind up jacking up your rates. So things are a mess right now, but there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes trying to regulate the market. So let's hope that they get this under control. But the homeowners insurance market here in the state of Florida, an absolute mess. Something you might want to think about before making that move here to South Florida. Now, the fourth reason you might want to reconsider a move here to the state of Florida and South Florida in general is that it is not affordable anymore, or it's definitely not as affordable as it once was. And it's one of the reasons why a lot of people are actually packing up and leaving. So there are a lot of changes going on here in the state, some good, some bad. The economy is booming. The job market is booming. There's more industry, more new jobs, and more jobs available now than at any time. The only problem is that the jobs and the wages available are not going to support, the cost of living. And that is a huge issue. And that's why some of the people here that have been here for a long time that have a local job just cannot afford to live here anymore. So here we are looking at a recent article, July 18th. South Florida renters face the worst affordability crisis in the United States. And it just goes out and highlights what is happening. So basically what's going on is that we have a lot of people relocating. And again, this is another common theme in a lot of my videos and what's going on throughout the entire state. A lot of high net worth individuals and a lot of people transferring with jobs in place because their companies are moving here. Their salaries are a lot higher than they are here in the state of Florida for locals, and they're able to afford some of the prices and the rents. So you can see what's happening with the rent prices here. The metropolitan areas with the most expensive rents in Florida, so Miami, West Palm Beach, Tampa, Jacksonville, Sanford, just goes to show you how expensive things are getting. So this is a huge issue for a lot of homegrown Floridians. They're not able to keep up with the rents and the cost of living that's going on here in the state. And the people that are moving here are able to do that because they're making more money than people that have local jobs, and also other people that work remotely are able to move here and afford the home prices and the rents here in the state. Now, if we move down to this chart here, it shows you how much rents have gone up since the pandemic. So 2017, the average rent price was $1,400. This is in Miami, and then now it's about $1,900. And this, in my opinion, is modest. I know several people that when their leases were ready to be renewed, they got a notice saying that their rent was going up like $700 at one point. So really tough for a lot of people. But the affordability crisis is a huge issue. Rent price, home prices is one thing, but when you cannot afford even rent, and the cost of living is just getting out of control compared to what people make as far as their salaries. Big issue. So affordability is something that really wasn't an issue here in South Florida and is now a major problem. A lot of people are actually moving out of the state because of this affordability crisis. So as you can see, the affordability crisis is a major issue. Let's see if things even out. Hopefully, wages will start going up to match the cost of living, and locals will be able to compete with all the high income individuals that are moving here from states like New York and California, Chicago, that have current jobs. They're able to keep their jobs and salaries. And also, again, like the article showed, remote workers is another huge factor. People can work from anywhere, so a lot of them are choosing to move here to Florida to work remotely because even though it is very expensive, it's still cheaper to live here in Florida than those other states if you have the same salary that you had back in those other areas. And the fifth reason, and a lot of people are telling me this is getting out of hand, is just the congestion. Now, with all the migration, with all the people moving here to the state, especially here in South Florida, all the building and construction, all the rental complexes going up, it is more and more congested, and it's worse than it ever has been. Now, I guess this is kind of par for the course when the population in general is exploding, but Florida is one of the states, I think it's the top state, or at least in the top two with Texas, where more people are moving to this state than any other states in the entire country. So with this mass migration of people moving here, the congestion, the amount of people, and the amount of new infrastructure being built is just, it's something like we've never seen before. And it's really getting, I won't say out of hand, but for some people, it's, it's taking them a little bit by surprise, and it's definitely not like it used to be for them. And they're actually packing up and moving. A lot of them are moving a little bit north and staying in the state, but they're moving out of the more populated areas like the Miami metro area, which is Southeast Florida, Miami-Dade County, Broward County, and Palm Beach County. All of those are pretty much built out to the max. There's really no place to do any new construction unless you go vertically. And, and that's what's exactly happening right now. They're building a lot of new buildings, high-rise buildings, apartment complexes, but the congestion in general on the roads is, it's at an all-time high. So this is something that people that have lived here for many, many years are noticing, and they don't like the change, but I don't see how that's, it's just not going to go in the other direction. It's only going to get worse from here because you just cannot stop the population growth. You cannot stop the incoming migration. So let's just see where we go from here. But definitely one of the reasons why people are leaving. So there you go, guys. Those are the top 5 reasons that we're hearing why people are not moving here or why people are leaving the state of Florida. But there are a lot of great things about the state, and still we cannot stop the phone calls from people that are looking to move here. So if that's you, hopefully you found this information helpful, and if you have any questions or need any help with a move, reach out 24/7. I'd love to hear from you and make your transition a very, very smooth one. Until the next time, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.